time. It could last just maybe a few months, and you become attached. This young lady right here, my mother cared for. My mother told me the story about they became so close that this woman, from what my mother told me, she's very old world, and hold on to a lot of old traditions that is so very precious, just so priceless. And mother tells me the story about how when she wanted my mother to stay longer, she would always give her $5. And it was the cutest thing because they knew it wasn't about the money. But that was her way of saying, I just want you to spend a little bit more time with me. I know it's not the money. Because this woman hadn't, it was just, that was their little thing. So my mother would just say, okay, and just take it. My mother knew they were going to talk. The stories that this woman shared about her life, her family, her husband, her children. I remember my mother telling me. When she passed, my mother cut out her obituary. And the last $5 that this woman gave my mother, she put it in this book and she taped it to the side of it. These is what my mother have cut out of magazines, and she posted it in here. Excuse me, down here. And it says, first reaction, how to win eternity. This is priceless to me. She put in here, take nothing for granted. He's got power. Turning my face to God. Pray for wisdom, change, and grow. Opening our eyes to small gifts. God's power to transform. Wholehearted prayer. A transforming power. Our God as protector. Draw me closer to you, acting wisely. What to know, head to toe, starts here. And my mother built this, put this in here. So just little things I just wanted to show out of what was in her mind and who she is. Okay. Now, that being said, I want to make a mention. You see here on her nightstand, I've been in the room, so but she has a Bible that sits by her nightstand. And I laid her pictures around there for me. Here, do this. But she has another Bible. Here. So those are things I wanted to make a point in her room. Just a little small, if people saw small little trinkets of just things of hers. That matters a great deal. Because now it's time to say goodbye and to close this door in this chapter in this woman's life. That's why it's a blessed thing for me to be here, for me to be the one that actually God has given so much great honor to and moving any of her items because of the love of this woman and who she is. Even this right here, I'm gonna say this is a picture of me in my first apartment. That was when I was 18 years old. That's over 20 something years ago. She kept it here right by the clock. So for me, these are things too I had to show and point out too that makes a woman great. Actually, I did want to make mention of I'm aware, because before I move this, I gotta say it before I even touch it. It was this piano too that my mother came with her first a instrumental song that she created, and she put it on tape that I have. My mother's very much into music. I just saw a picture of her dad with the mic. My mother too, the same thing, has a mic in her room. I wanted to share too. That's where she have her guitar right here too. And where this chest is at, that used to be an organ right there. So before I even move it, I want to remember this on tape. I'm going up my mother's steps here. This is on the one side of the house. The house was built where there's two staircases, two stairways on one floor that leads to different rooms. This is one of the rooms that my mother sat in. This was her last year, her last month here. This is a room that my mother recreated. That used to be the boys' room that became a guest room. And after my mother stayed in this room too, she birthed out two entrepreneur businesses, and one is caregiving, and the other one was Shirley's Kitchen. I want to say here, I'm sitting down here. That's my doggy Zion. That's who God gave me in Arizona. When my mother was here, she'd sit by the window, look outside this window. And when I was in this room after she passed, I've discovered something that I had not discovered before. And when she was sitting in here and I would come home, coming up the steps here, because normally my mother won't even be in this room. She'd be downstairs in her bedroom. So we look on here. Of course, we always have here's the Bible we had here. And this is the book that my mother had put beside it. What matters in life is like, you see, she was reading the book. She knew. I don't know how long this book has been sitting here, but this is a very difficult thing when you're a woman and you have to make the decision about a breast surgery. I saw my mother suffer through breast cancer. I saw hands-on what cancer can do to you. I saw how it can eat you from the inside out. But I want everyone to know, whoever looks at this video, I want you to remember this always. Cancer never wins. Nor does Alzheimer's, diabetes, heart disease, lung failure, prostate cancer. None of these things ever win. Because when you begin to understand God, you understand whatever is negative is not of God. So what negative takes is always what it has that it owns. So these beautiful people in this world who have gone through such harsh elements and had to bear such sicknesses, it was the sickness that took the body, but God takes the soul. That evil and negativity never wins. And everyone enters into the spiritual realm on time. No one too early and no one too late. For those that are survivors, you're survivors for a reason. And those that passed on, and it was the element that took them, the element really cannot take you. Only God can take you. The element only takes itself. You have to understand that to know how to really obtain phenomenal success through the aftermath of tragedies and traumas that enters into our life. God rules all day.